Bright Tuty. Every student matters.
Every day we see so many things around us, right? There are certain things which we observe and relate, but there are other things which we do not observe. There are so many times when we try to think about certain things happening around us. Our mind questions us as to what exactly is the reason for so many phenomena taking place. And this is where science comes into play. Science is a beautiful subject which tells us the reasons of so many natural phenomena and activities which are going on around us, right? So, we'll be studying about those things in this particular class. Now, today we are starting up with physics. The chapter's name is Motion and Measurement of Distances, right? So, motion and measurement of distances will be taking up. Now, students, we have seen so many activities, so much of movement around us. Even we ourselves, we are continuously doing one thing or another. We are continuously moving. We are in motion. But what exactly motion is? This is what we are going to find out in this particular chapter, right? The moment you come out of your house, the moment you are on a street or a road, you see so many things going from one place to another, whether we talk about the people or we talk about the vehicles, the cars, the buses, the trains, everything is moving, right? They are going from one place to another, right? The heavenly bodies like the stars, the planets, the moon, the sun, even they are in motion, we know that, right? So, they are also moving. So, this is basically the main concept of motion, that if a body is in motion, it changes its position. For example, if I am looking at a person and that person, I am standing here, alright, this is my position A. I see a person who is at a particular position, let us say it is at B, right? After a minute or so, when I try to see this person, I see that now this person is no longer at that position B, but now he has moved from there and he has come to this particular position C. So, now from where I am looking at this person, the initial position of that person, this was the initial position. The initial position of the person was at this point B, but after some time, now we see that the person is at point C. So, we will say that the final position of the person is point C. So, the position of the person has changed, and if the position of a person changes, then we say that the body, the person is moving, he or she is in motion. So, let us define what exactly motion is. This is the definition of motion, students. You have to learn it. This is quite important. Let us try to relate. When the position of a body with respect to surroundings changes with time, the body is said to be in motion. Let us try to go into the depth of this particular definition, that initially if the body is at a particular position, but after certain time, if the position changes, if the body is now at a different position, then we say that the body is in motion or the body is moving. Got it? So, all the things around us, we see they are in motion if they are changing their position. Even you look at yourself, the moment you were there, the moment earlier in the drawing room, and after a second or two you are going into the bedroom or to the kitchen or to the washroom or anywhere, that means your position is getting changed, that means you are also in motion. But if you are sitting on a sofa continuously, so few moments back you were on the sofa, your initial position was on the bed or on the sofa, wherever you are sitting, and after some time, if you do not get up, if you do not move, if you are still on that particular position, then in that case your initial position was a particular point, let us say a sofa or a bed, and the final position after some time is also the same. Therefore we say that you are not in motion, because your initial and final positions are same. So I hope you have got the concept of motion as to when a body is in motion and when it is at rest. We call it at rest. The body is resting, or we also say it that the body is in a stationary position. Stationary position or at rest, it means the same thing, right? So either the body is moving, it is in motion, or it is at a stationary position, right? Now you must have heard the names of these two pioneers, Albert Einstein and Galileo, right? Now they were the pioneers in physics, fine. So Galileo once said that everything in the physical world means the world which is visible to us, anything in the physical world is in motion. Everything, starting from the tiniest particles within atoms. We know that everything is made up of atoms, right? And atoms are further made up of very tiny small particles, which we call subatomic particles. Subatomic means the part of the atoms. They are electrons, protons and neutrons, right? So everything is made up of atoms. Those atoms are further made up of subatomic particles called electrons, protons and neutrons. So as per Galileo, he said that starting from very small, the tiniest particles which are there within the atom, in the atom, to the longest galaxies of stars, they all are constantly in motion, they all are constantly moving, right? The galaxies of stars, you must be aware what exactly is meant by a galaxy. It is a collection, it is a group, it is a combination of thousands and millions of stars. That is known as a galaxy, right? Do you know which galaxy we live in? We live in Milky Way galaxy. How many of you knew that? Very good. Milky Way galaxy, in which our solar system, our earth is there, okay? So as per Galileo, everything in this physical world is in motion, right? So now let us try to relate a bit about what transport is and what is the story of transport. What is meant by transport? You all know transport simply means to carry people or goods from one place to another, and for that we can use any means. For example, we can use any vehicle, we can use an aircraft or a ship. So if we are carrying anything, men or material, living or non-living thing, from one place to another place by any means, that is known as transport or transportation, right? Today we have many means of transport, but just think about the time when in ancient time there were no steam engines, there were no wheels. So at that point in time, right, long time back in ancient times, when there were no wheels invented, think about the time, no wheels. Today we see almost all the means of transport having wheels except the boats and the ships. You see the cycles, they've got the wheels. You see the scooties and the motorbikes, they've got the wheels. You see the cars and the trucks and the buses, all with wheels. You see the trains, they have got wheels. Even the aeroplanes, they have got wheels, right? So wheels, when there were no wheels, when there were no engines, at that point in time there were no mode or no means of transport. So at that point, at that time, the only means of transport was either manual or physical, right? So people either used to go, they used to walk, they used to go on foot, or they used to domesticate the animals for their purposes. For example, the cows, the oxen, the horses, right? And the camel, they were all used as a means of transport in the form of bullock carts, or they used to have the country boats just as the means of transport for them at that time. Got it? Fine. But with the invention of wheel in the late 19th century, when wheel was invented, when steam engines were invented, it was a huge change. Why? Because now the technological advancement led to the making of aeroplanes, spacecraft, speedboats, electric trains, metro, supersonic aeroplanes, all right. So today we see, it's a very common thing for us to see the aeroplanes or the metro rails or the buses or the cars, but they all started with the invention of wheels and the invention of engines. Initially they were the steam engines, right? And then they were converted into petrol or diesel engines, and then with the advancement in science, in technology, in development, today we have got electric engines, right? In metros, in trains, we are using electric engines nowadays, correct? So this is the story of transport, how transportation started from ancient times till today. Got it? I hope you have understood it all. Thank you so much.